The Byzantine Empire, a beacon of power, stood for 1,000 years, a continuation of Rome. But in the early 900s, things were tough. Emperor Leo VI, known as the Wise, died in 912, leaving a huge void. His son, young Constantine VII, was just a boy, too young to rule alone. A regency council took charge, but these councils often led to disaster. Ambitious nobles fought for control, plotting in the great palace. The young emperor was merely a pawn in their dangerous games. Byzantium's heart was in turmoil, a worrying sign. Different factions wanted the top spot, the ultimate power. Nobles, influential churchmen, and military leaders all schemed. The empire was a giant with a distracted and weak head. This internal division was a serious problem. Enemies on the borders watched closely, sensing weakness. It was like an open invitation for trouble. Byzantium's famed stability was visibly cracking. Ambitious rulers in neighboring lands saw their chance. They dreamt of carving off pieces from the empire's territories. The stage was set for a major challenge from Bulgaria. Now let's talk about Tsar Simeon I of Bulgaria. Simeon was highly educated, having studied in Constantinople. He knew the Romans, their ways, their army very well. This knowledge was incredibly valuable. Simeon was a scholar, a warrior, and a man with a colossal dream. He didn't just want to rule a strong Bulgarian kingdom, he saw himself as a new emperor, a czar of Bulgarians and Romans. He envisioned a new empire, perhaps even with himself on the throne in Constantinople. Simeon initially tried diplomacy, seeking recognition from Constantinople. He wanted his imperial title acknowledged. For the proud Byzantines, this was hard to swallow. The Byzantine regency, caught up in their own squabbles, reacted poorly. They underestimated Simeon's ambition. They didn't offer him the respect or deal that might have kept peace. Simeon's pride was stoked, and his determination grew stronger. The seeds of a massive conflict were being sown. The Byzantine regency was initially led by Patriarch Nicholas Mystikos. Mystikos tried to appease Simeon, recognizing his imperial claims. This was a desperate attempt to buy time and peace, but it angered powerful factions within the Byzantine court. They saw it as a sign of weakness. The regency under Mystikos looked increasingly shaky, and it didn't satisfy Simeon for long. He wanted more than just a temporary recognition. The truce was fragile, built on misunderstanding and mistrust. Then, Empress Zoe Karbonopsina, Constantine VII's mother, seized power. She was a determined and formidable woman. Zoe repudiated any deals made with Simeon. She declared his imperial title null and void. This was a direct slap in the face to the Bulgarian Tsar. The consequences were immediate and severe. Zoe's outright rejection of Simeon's claims meant one thing: war. Both sides began to prepare for a major conflict. The fate of the Balkans hung in the balance. Empress Zoe decided on a massive, all-out military solution. She was determined to crush Tsar Simeon and Bulgaria once and for all. She started gathering a truly enormous army. This wasn't just a defensive measure, it was a full-scale invasion plan. It was an incredibly high-stakes gamble for the empire. The composition of this Byzantine army was quite something. It included the elite Tagmata regiments, the professional corps of the army, but it also had vast numbers of theme soldiers and many mercenaries. Vikings, Khazars, Magyars, all brought in for this grand campaign. Zoe also had a clever strategic plan. She tried to forge alliances to hit Bulgaria from multiple sides. Her diplomats worked to bring the Pechenegs into the war. The idea was for them to attack Bulgaria from the north. This would create a dreaded two-front war for Simeon, but this grand alliance strategy spectacularly failed. The Pechenegs were unreliable allies. The Byzantine navy, led by Romanos Lekapenos, failed in its task. This failure meant Simeon could now focus all his forces. He would face the main Byzantine army in the south, undivided. The massive Byzantine army marched into Bulgarian territory. They were led by Leo Phocas, a prominent general. Confidence was high, they heavily outnumbered the Bulgarians. They advanced towards the Achelous River near the Black Sea coast. The soldiers felt that victory was almost certain. This was supposed to be the campaign that ended Simeon's threat. But a terrible shock awaited them on August 20th, 917. The Battle of Achelous began, and initially things went well for the Romans. Their superior numbers started to tell. The Byzantine soldiers pushed the Bulgarian lines back. It seemed like Empress Zoe's gamble was about to pay off. Victory appeared to be within their grasp. The Romans pressed their advantage, advancing further. Their lines started to stretch, becoming thin in places. Tsar Simeon, a brilliant commander, spotted his chance. He unleashed his elite heavy cavalry in a devastating charge. This counterattack hit the stretched Roman flank. The Byzantine soldiers, caught off guard, began to panic. The result was an absolute catastrophe for the Roman army. The Battle of Achelous changed history forever.